Welcome to Rate the Encounters, where police power meets public accountability.
This episode is brought to you by Reggie Photo. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor Reggie visits Preston City Center to document a building fire using his drone, remaining clear of emergency services and fully complying with the law. However, after landing the drone, an officer aggressively intervenes, incorrectly claims the activity is illegal, and proceeds to fail.
Can you bring it right down? Now.
I ain't got a drone up.
You've got a drone up.
I haven't.
You have. You walked past me with a drone.
I haven't got a drone up.
Where is your drone?
Pardon?
Where's your drone? Right. Just listen to me. Just go over a sec.
What?
Right. You've obviously got the drone up.
I haven't.
You have.
No, I haven't.
Just listen to me.
No, you listen to me.
Right.
I haven't got a drone up.
Just listen to me.
What?
So what's that then?
That's some drone footage.
Right. Okay. So where's your drone?
Huh?
Where's your drone?
What's it got to do with you, buddy?
Right. Just so you know, you are committing an offence.
I'm not committing an offence at all. Am I flying at this minute?
Listen to me.
Am I flying?
Listen to me.
Go ahead.
Right.
Just to let you know, we'll contact the Civil Aviation Authority to put a temporary ban on flyovers.
Mate, he said I'm flying. No, I'm not.
So,
am I flying?
So where's
your drone?
What's it going to do with you guys? I'm not flying a drone.
The first officer approaches and immediately accuses the auditor of committing an offense, claiming he has a drone in the air. The auditor calmly explains that he does not. The drone has already landed. The officer then points to the screen on the controller, clearly misunderstanding what he is seeing. The auditor clarifies, that's recorded footage, not a live flight. Instead of reassessing or verifying the facts, the officer doubles down and continues the accusation. Despite having no evidence that the drone is airborne, a second officer then states they are contacting the Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, to impose a temporary flight restriction. However, this undermines their own position. If they are only now attempting to establish a restriction, it confirms that no restriction was in place during the flight. This means the auditor was not breaking any law at the time. In effect, they are attempting to retroactively apply rules to justify action against a flight that had already concluded legally.
Just crack on with your job.
Right. Under Article 256 of the air navigation, you are committing an offence.
Offence? Okay. Am I flying a drone at this minute?
Near the building. Okay.
Look, the joypad's not moving. Look at that, guys. He's just said I'm committing an offence.
They can fly themselves. It's not stupid. I own a drone myself.
You want a drone? So am I committing an offence now?
Yes, you are.
So are you arresting me then? Are you arresting me?
I'm going to take your details and someone's just...
I'm not giving you my details.
Right, well, I have to arrest you then. You give me
Go on then. Go on then.
Right, okay.
I'm not flying a drone.
The officer attempts to justify the arrest by citing Article 256 of the Air Navigation Order, which relates to drones being flown recklessly or dangerously. However, this legislation only applies where there is a clear risk to people or property, and nothing about the auditor's flight meets that threshold. He operated responsibly, maintained distance from emergency services, and posed no danger whatsoever. The auditor was using a DJI Mini, a sub-250G drone that falls well within legal limits. Yet, rather than asking basic questions or confirming whether the drone was even airborne, the officers escalated the situation. One female officer even snatched the controller from his hands, a reckless action that could have caused a crash if the drone had actually been in flight. Ironically, the only real risk was created by the officers themselves.
I'm not flying a drone. My drone's in my bag, you pair them up
You wouldn't give us the drone.
Mate, you've just am I being detained? Detained for what?
You're committing an offence under the Aviation Act, okay? I have told you that. I have asked you.
Am I being detained?
I've asked you.
Am I being detained? I'm arrested?
Yes, you are.
Right.
Okay. All you need to do is call his name. That shows his drone.
My drone's in my bag.
I asked you.
My drone is in my bag. Check my bag.
I was just trying to help him out. I know that. But he's made that decision. He's a grown man, and if he wants...
Mate, no, my drone's in my bag. I've told him it's in my bag. He's detaining me, arresting me for a drone.
You need to get your details as well, your name and address as well.
What? I was flying it before you actually told me it was an offence. Why is it an offence when I've got a... Are you arresting me? Serious?
Yes, I've just arrested you.
Will you check that bag just to make sure my drone's in there?
Once we've established your details...
This is... Hey, do you know what?
Right.
This is an unlawful...
Listen to me. all right? Before we start shouting. Once we've ascertained your details and confirmed who you are, we can look at de-arresting you in relation to...
De-arresting me? I've not committed an offence from the start. I've got a licence and everything.
Under UK law, an arrest must be based on reasonable grounds that an offence has been committed, not on suspicion alone or as a means to investigate further. The auditor responds appropriately, pointing out that he has committed no offence and holds the necessary credentials. However, this is disregarded. The officers failed to ask what type of drone he was operating, whether a license was required, or whether he was acting within legal parameters before escalating to arrest. What is evident here is not proper policing, but guesswork. The officers neglected even the most basic checks before exercising their powers.
You don't arrest people first, mate. That you're doing the wrong thing. The law?
You come with me.
Pardon? It wasn't playing, mate.
Come with me.
Jog on, you muppet. Who's got the controller and the phone?
What did you do?
I need that control and the phone because he's got the evidence, mate.
Right, okay.
I proved to you I weren't flying a drone.
You haven't proved it. You was being awkward.
Mate, you said that I was flying a drone.
Controller is. I can't talk. You're shouting.
I have got handcuffs on and they're hurting, mate.
Have you got his controller? Right. We'll take the controller.
So look at that. That's still going as we speak.
Right.
That was from footage before when there was no blocker in the area.
Just search his bag.
Yeah, of course, mate. What was your name, fella?
I'm not telling you my name. I'm not telling you. I'm not obliged to because I'm not committed an offence.
I was only asking your name.
This moment highlights a subtle yet common tactic used by officers to apply pressure while appearing neutral. The female officer casually asks for the auditor's name. When he correctly declines, explaining that he is not legally obliged to provide it without suspicion of an offense, she quickly responds, "I was only asking." However, this response is calculated. It is designed to make the auditor appear unreasonable for asserting his rights, while allowing the officer to maintain plausible deniability. In reality, when a uniformed police officer requests your name during a tense encounter, it is rarely just a casual question. It carries an implied expectation and authority.
He's detained me and I'm in handcuffs now.
I've already told you. Under the Aviation Act, you are committing offence. You're flying a drone near buildings.
Near buildings.
Without a licence, you can't do that.
I've got a licence. I've got a licence. Am I permitted to give you a licence? Because this area is exempt from the CAA.
What is it?
Eh?
There's the drone.
It's in the bag. Look through the rest of the bag. Not inside the bag, not that bit.
Oh, I've just taken it.
Sorry, guys, can I just ask you to take a couple of steps back for me? Thank you.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Oh, so now Constable is seeing that my drone's in the bag, as it is. It wasn't flying when he pulled me and put me in handcuffs. So now, this is a wrongful arrest. Am I still being detained, Constable? Please let me know soon, because the longer this goes on, the more you will be a civil court matter. Okay. And I will prosecute you.
That's fine.
Personally. You've detained...
Make complaints Lancashire Constabulary, mate. By all means do so.
Are you being cocky, Louis?
No, I'm telling you where to make your complaint.
Peace, what's your collar number?
Sergeant 5409.
Sergeant 5409. Are you happy with your constable doing what he's done to me?
You'd like to make a complaint.
Are you happy with what your constable's done to me?
Ashley?
Can he let me out of these cuffs now?
When the officer searches the auditor's bag and discovers the drone inside, it confirms exactly what the auditor had stated from the beginning. The drone was not in the air. This is a critical moment, as it completely undermines the basis for the arrest. The original allegation was that the auditor was actively flying unlawfully. That claim is now proven false. Yet instead of reassessing or acknowledging the mistake, the officer continues as though nothing has changed. The evidence clearly invalidates the grounds for arrest. The drone was not in flight. There was no risk, no interference, and no breach of the law. The arrest was based purely on assumption, and that assumption has now collapsed entirely.
You are committing the offence, okay?
How can I commit offence when I wasn't flying?
Do you want to
At the
listen or shout
time,
at him?
you wouldn't tell me whether you was flying or not.
I wasn't committing an offence.
Right? Listen to me. At the time, I suspected you was committing the offence.
No, you said I was committing an offence.
Because you wouldn't tell me you had the drone in the bag.
No, okay. I told you I didn't have it.
No, you didn't.
Mate, you've done an unlawful arrest on me today. What's your collar number?
You can have a call at 8512. Okay, listen to me. You're now de-arrested because you're not flying the drone. Should you?
I tried to tell you I wasn't flying a drone.
Should you that drone take off? You will be arrested.
No one. Okay. No one. If I want to fly that,
CCTV are monitoring.
I want to fly that, this is a legal way I can fly this drone. I've got a license.
The auditor responds appropriately, stating that if he chooses to fly the drone again, he can do so legally, as he holds a valid operator ID and understands the regulations. He is entirely correct. Under UK drone laws, provided a flight complies with Civil Aviation Authority, CAA regulations, including airspace permissions, drone classification, and safety requirements, no, officer has the authority to prevent it based on personal opinion or discomfort. The officer's warning is not grounded in law, but in ego. Even after the arrest is shown to be baseless, he refuses to step back, instead resorting to vague intimidation to reassert control.
Are you a muppet or what? So are you saying if I fly that now, I'm being arrested?
Are you going to keep still, or it's going to hurt and take your handcuffs off?
Don't move forward for me. Lean your body forward.
Listen, stop pushing my back. You're making things a lot worse.
It's going to hurt.
You muppet.
Don't be swearing.
I will swear, because he's arresting me for nothing.
You're going to get yourself locked up.
Locked up for what? Public order?
Breach the peace or public order.
Breach of the peace. Go on, crack on, crack on. You've put me in handcuffs for nothing.
Put them
on the other way around next time, you Joey. You not put a pair of handcuffs on, or what? So why are you twisting them like that?
Your hand away.
I ain't pulling. Do you think I want to walk away with that on me? You Joey. You're a muppet, mate. You've arrested, what, you arrested me then for nothing. I weren't flying a drone. And it's legal to fly a drone here.
All right, okay.
Is it not?
Prove it then.
Prove it? I'll give you my operator's ID.
Go on then.
Okay. Go on then.
Let's have all your IDs.
I'm going to give you my operator's ID right now, where it's legal to fly a drone right here.
Okay. So that says that you can fly above buildings and people.
Yeah. Do you know what type of drone this is?
When the officer questions the auditor, asking, "So that lets you fly over people and buildings?" it becomes clear that he does not understand how the law applies to the DJI Mini. The answer is yes. Under UK regulations, drones under 250 gr, such as the DJI Mini, are permitted to fly near and even over people and buildings, provided the operation is conducted safely. The DJI Mini falls within the A1 subcategory of the open category, which is specifically intended for low-risk drones. There is no fixed minimum distance requirement from uninvolved people or property, and flights in built-up areas are allowed. These rules exist because drones of this size present minimal risk, and the legislation reflects that. The officer's tone suggests the auditor is stretching the rules, but in reality, he is operating fully within them.
Before we go, because I'm going to make a civil claim against you, right? I'm going to show you the drone.
This is the drone. I don't know what they are.
Do you see that there, buddy?
Yeah, it's a DJI Mini, I know.
DJI Mini, it's under 250 grams, right? Yeah. Nothing around here in Preston is exempt from me flying above, and I wouldn't
near a burning building.
I was 120 meters above the sky, buddy.
And interfering with emergency.
Not interfering, no.
Yes, you was.
Not interfering.
Yes, it was.
I wasn't interfering. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Hence why it's
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Have you got your license?
What?
You got your license?
For one, I'm not permitted to show you my license.
You just told me you're going to show me, now you're not.
But do you know what that is? That's my operator's license number.
Right, so I will contact then the CAA and I will let them know about your unlawful flying of the drone.
It wasn't unlawful.
You'll lose your license, won't you?
No, it won't.
You're being monitored. See you.
I can fly this again.
When the coppers auditor calmly presents his operator ID, he is demonstrating transparency, despite not being legally required to do so in this context. Rather than acknowledging this, the officer reacts by threatening to report him to the Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, and have his license revoked. This is a weak attempt to regain authority after being proven incorrect. What the officer fails to understand is that if a CAA flight restriction had been active, the DJI Mini's geofencing system would have prevented the flight altogether. The fact that the drone was able to fly confirms that it was legally permitted at the time. There was no breach, no offense, only an officer attempting to justify an arrest that should never have occurred.
Do you know CAA? They need to put a blocker in the area.
Well, they're doing it now.
Well, once they do that, that will stop me flying.
Carry on shouting, you're going to get locked up.
No, I won't stop
Yes, you will
shouting.
get
No,
locked
what?
up.
This is me.
Right? Well,
What are you going to arrest me
shout
for?
in my face.
What are you going to
You're
arrest
lawyer
me
for a breach of the peace. As simple as that.
Oh, breach
Do
of
not
peace.
shout in my
You
face.
can't be offended.
Right?
You can't be
I can't be
offended.
offended. These firefighters can. This baby here in this pram can.
I'm really, do you know what I'm offended? You're a muppet.
All right.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because you illegally arrested me then.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Did you not illegally arrest me then?
You're not suspected.
My wrist, look at my wrist there.
Right.
My wrists are killing for what you did. You are a muppet.
Right, 4 complaints.
8512.
Yes.
Yeah.
4 complaints.
I'm gonna-
That's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Look at you laughing about it. What type of a Joey are you? You are a tyrant, Constable. You think you can do that to people when I've got a license for a drone?
Okay.
Have I got a license?
You've not
That will be proven in
not
court.
got a real license.
Pardon? You didn't actually put me in handcuffs.
I asked.
That's not the way you do it.
Flying the drone. You said no. You said yes. You wouldn't tell me whether you was flying the drone.
Also, you just arrest people on
You
that.
wouldn't show me.
You need to. You need to know CAA.
The auditor clearly explained that the drone was not in flight. However, instead of asking basic follow-up questions, such as the type of drone, whether any restrictions were in place, or whether the footage was live, the officer proceeded directly to arrest. Just 30 seconds of proper policing would have revealed that no offense had taken place. Like far too many officers, this individual displayed a lack of understanding of Civil Aviation Authority, CAA regulations, particularly concerning drones like the DJI Mini. He failed to ask about the drone's classification, did not consider its weight, and showed no awareness that certain operations are entirely lawful, even within built-up areas.
Right. Well,
You don't know it.
deal with it in court.
You don't know it. You're a Joey.
Thank you.
You are a muppet.
Thank you.
I'm disrespected.
Right.
I've
I've
been.
been breaching the peace because there's members of the public there that are offended by
Are
your
you offended
language.
what I just
Right?
said?
So listen to me. Pack it in with the language. or you're
I'm
gonna get
speaking
locked
to
up.
you.
Simple as. Move on.
No, I'm going this way.
Right. Move that way then.
Is my silence good enough for you?
Yes, that's perfect.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
You're a tyrant, aren't you?
Keep an eye on this guy for the please.
Keep it. He's all right with me. He's all right. He's all right.
Excuse me, you stood in my way.
Huh? You're studying my way.
How we doing, kid?
Look at this guy. He's a proper tyrant. Idiot. He just arrested me. Everybody, this is the Preston Police Force for you. Joey.
You're a tyrant.
Tyrant.
As the officer walks away, he gives a smug wave over his shoulder. Not a polite gesture, but a mocking one, as though he believes he has won the encounter. However, what he fails to realize, and what the camera captures clearly, is that this was not a victory. It was a complete failure in policing, one that would later have consequences. The auditor, who remained calm, informed, and entirely within the law, subsequently filed a civil claim for wrongful arrest. Just a couple of months ago, he received a payout of $1,150, as confirmed by official documentation. After legal costs, he retained $837.50, not merely compensation, but formal recognition that the actions taken against him were unlawful. That payout represents more than money. It is validation. Throughout the incident, the officer repeatedly misunderstood the law. He cited Article 256 of the Air Navigation Order without justification, incorrectly claimed the drone was airborne, and failed to conduct even the most basic inquiries before making an arrest. He ignored the auditor's explanations, disregarded his operator ID, and allowed another officer to recklessly seize the controller, an act that could have caused serious danger had the drone actually been flying. Even after the de-arrest, the officer refused to concede. He threatened to contact the Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, to revoke the auditor's license, a baseless claim that further exposed his lack of knowledge. When questioned about why he had not gathered relevant information before using his powers, he had no answer. This was not policing. It was assumption, ego, and control, all exercised under the authority of a uniform. However, thanks to the auditor's knowledge, composure, and the presence of the camera, the situation did not end with that dismissive wave. It concluded with a legal victory, financial compensation, and a public reminder. If authority is misused, those who understand their rights will hold it to account. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps support independent coverage like this. Also, be sure to check out Reggie. His channel is linked in the description. Show him your support. Thanks for watching.